breaking news. A lot of people having trouble with their cell phones this morning. AT&T is experiencing a nationwide outage. The website downdetector.com has reported more than 32,000 outage reports. The biggest issues are in major cities like LA, San Francisco, Dallas, Houston, and Chicago. There were some concerns the outage could affect first responders. We've reached out to local agencies, and the CHP say their phones were affected, but things are back online. AT&T has not yet commented on the outage.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC.
Pharmacies across the country are having problems fulfilling prescriptions for patients because of a cyber attack. Now, that attack is on a division of United Health Group. The company says it became aware of the hack Wednesday when hackers gained access to some of its systems. Some pharmacies were unable to process prescriptions to insurance companies to receive payment. United Health says it's working with law enforcement and security experts, but there's no timetable for when service will be restored.
New at 11, a balloon spotted flying over the western U.S. is not a threat. That word coming from NORAD tonight. Officials say a fighter jet intercepted the small balloon over Utah, determining it was not maneuverable and did not pose a threat to national security. Officials say the balloon was not sent by a foreign adversary. This comes 1 year after a Chinese spy balloon was caught flying over the U.S. for several days.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo-Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus a so-called black man. All right, and from the collage that you've seen of videos that I put together, a few things happened this week, okay? And the first one that was shown, I believe, was the outage of a major cell phone provider network, and I believe it happened to I believe it happened to more than just one, okay? It was at&t that got hit, and it was also, who else? I believe it was T-Mobile, okay? And then in the second video you seen was the healthcare provider industry that got hit, okay, by these cyber attacks. And then the third clip was of this balloon that they said, there was no imminent threat or anything of that magnitude. But we remember last year they had the same thing happen where they had a balloon that was flying in, restricted airspace, and, it was a so-called spy balloon, okay? So a lot went down this week, as far as, the infrastructure of this, society, speaking particularly in regards of America, okay? And this is off the website foxbusiness.com, and the headline reads, Law Professor Fears Cyber Attacks Will Increase, Continue in Wake of Pharmacy, AT&T Outages, okay? And it goes on to read, Thursday flurry of outage worries was just the beginning of what one law professor cautioned as impending threats on infrastructure and national security. The main concern that I am seeing in these cyber attacks continue to increase, and the government is just going to try and pass the buck. Net Choice Vice President, General Counsel, and Internet Law Professor Carl Salzbo said on Fox and Friends Friday, less than 0.05% of cyber attack get prosecuted. That means 99% of cyber attacks go unprosecuted. So the cyber attacks are going to continue, he added, and somebody is dropping the ball. And in this case, it's the government. So this guy's, I guess, is a law professor in the internet cyber attack realm, and he's seeing through his studies that a small portion of cyber attacks that, occur, only a small portion of them get prosecuted and the rest go unprosecuted, which would, encourage them to continue to go on with these cyber attacks, okay? Now, what you seen was, cyber attack or an attack on the infrastructure of the healthcare industry and your cell phone network provider, okay? The next one could be your bank, okay? Your financial industry, okay? Where they hack into the banks, all right? That's going to really cause an uproar, all right? Because it was alleged that this AT&T and cell phone, attack or outage, tens of thousands of people were without, services, okay? They were without phone service, all right? Weren't able to call, the local emergency number, we know is 911, and these healthcare companies, they weren't able to access certain files to these people, medical records, and all these things are going to be a cause for concern, all right, leading or going forth, all right? And you seeing how vulnerable that, the infrastructure of this society, speaking particularly in this incident, America is, okay? They can easily have an outage of a well-provided, phone service, not just one, but multiple, okay? AT&T, T-Mobile, those are supposed to be two of the, well-renowned, best in their fields, okay? And they had outages, all right? And the same goes with the medical industry, okay? Change Healthcare, okay? They had outages throughout the whole, throughout the whole country, okay? So it wasn't like it just affected, one particular city. No, these outages and these attacks went out throughout the whole country, all right? That's cause for concern, okay? Because eventually, it's going to all come crumbling down, okay? It's going to hit the whole, entirety from East Coast to West Coast, from North to South. Okay, everyone is going to feel it, okay? Now, they're trying to tell you in this, regards that, these attacks are coming from, other sources outside of America, but they all in cahoots together, okay? They all in cahoots to bringing this thing down so that they can what? Roll out their next move, their next agenda, their next phase, okay? That digital ID is going to encompass all of this, okay? It's going to allow you to have your medical records on file. It's going to allow you to, have your passports. It's going to have everything on it. So you're not going to need to necessarily have, a cell phone provider, okay? And we know that digital ID is going to encompass that mark, okay? It's all going to be, implanted inside of you, okay? So you don't have to worry about, your identity being, taken or compromised or anything of that magnitude, okay? So it says, early Thursday morning, AT&T service suffered a nationwide outage, most prominently impacting Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, and Miami service areas. A U.S. defense official told Fox News on Thursday that there was no indication it was a cyber attack. So although it looks like a cyber attack, they're saying it wasn't a cyber attack, okay? And why would they say that? To cause, more concern, because it's not that time yet to really, get the, crowd in a frenzy, to get them, in the sense of where they need to panic, okay? It says, pharmacies scrambled to serve sick customers as nation state blamed for ongoing cyber attack outage. And while the FBI and the Federal Communication Commissions, the FCC, said they began investigating the outages, pharmacies across the country reported delays by early Thursday afternoon to prescription orders due to a cyber attack against one of the nation's largest healthcare technology companies, Change Healthcare, okay? So you seeing, the weakness of this infrastructure, which is all being based around this digital, okay? Which is why they're getting ready for this next transition from, physical into digital, okay? Because they're getting ready to bring in a more efficient way, okay? Where they can track more things than they can. All right. This system that they are currently under right now, that they are currently operating, is obsolete. Okay, they have to get ready to bring in a more proficient and better way of doing things. Okay. and that's going to be completely digital, all right? Known as the fourth industrial revolution, where they're going to try to, merge man with machine, okay? This system that they have right now is obsolete. It's not operating at its optimal level, okay? That's why they have to get ready to bring in something that will, okay? And they're going to bring it in by the way of that mark. Before they can bring that mark in, they have to complete total chaos. They have to, create total chaos, okay? Order out of chaos. Hegelian dialectic, all right? So you're going to see more and more of these things take place until eventually they're just going to pull the plug on it all, okay? And your bank account's going to be hit, the way of life, how you know it, is not going to be anymore. It's going to be complete chaos. The light's going to go out here in Egypt, all right? Which is going to have a profound impact throughout the board, okay? Not just here in America, but throughout other countries as well, because a lot of these countries are tied into that, world reserve currency, which is the USD, the dollar, all right? So it says, Change Healthcare, which handles orders and patient payments throughout the U.S., first noticed the cybersecurity issue affecting its networks Wednesday morning on the East Coast before disconnecting its systems. Most cyber attacks take about 280 days to trace where they are. What happened? Sasabo noted, we have learned that this is likely a foreign encounter. Okay, so you seeing the narrative being set up that this is a foreign encounter. Okay, now we've done videos on those rebels, the Houthis, that's threatening to if they continue with their attacks on Iran, speaking of the United States, that they will cut the internet cable. Okay, so you're seeing the narrative that they're pushing to lure you away from the real objective, okay? That it's a foreign attack, all right? So it says, most cyber attacks take about 280 days to trace where they are. What happened? Sasabo noted, we have learned that this is likely a foreign encounter. Sure you have. This isn't new, the legal expert further warned. We saw Sunny get hacked by North Korea. We saw the Colonial Pipeline shut down just a couple of years ago. With these ransomware attacks, we're seeing ransom attacks against our hospitals. What we need is law enforcement to go out and do its job. We need less talk and more prosecution. Okay? So, you're going to continue to see more and more and hear about more and more until they get ready to pull the plug on this place, man. Okay, and they about ready to do that. Real talk. They about ready to pull the plug on this place, okay? They seeing that the writing on the wall is there. They seeing that the people are, getting ready to be in an uproar, and they got everybody where they want them to be at, all right? Right there in the palms of their hands. So they're going to continue to bring it until they already, get prepared, and then they're just going to pull it, okay? And by that time, light's going to be out here in Egypt. And if you don't got that light, you're going to be walking in darkness. We already know what that is. So let's get a couple of scriptures and let's go from there. All right, we in 1 Thessalonians, and we're going to start from the top, chapter 5 and verse 1, and it reads, But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right, so we know what time it is. We know what season we in. We know that this is this man's last rulership. Speaking of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and he's going to, come with it. He's going to bring it, okay? Because this is the last heathen that's going to ever rule over us. After this, it's us. We got next, okay? We're going to have the kingdom under Yahushua for eternity. So it says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, so, they try to pass off that balloon fiasco as nothing, and if it was nothing, why would they send those fighter jets up there to take a look at it, okay? You know, if it was such a, if it was just, Johnny that just let his balloon go from a birthday party and it flew up into the upper atmosphere, they wouldn't send no fighter jets up there to go check and see what it's about. No, they had major, cause they had major cause for concern. So they sent the fighter jets up there to make sure, okay? Letting you know that, things are getting ready to, escalate, all right? Pick up, all right? So it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, when this place go down, man, those people that aren't in the truth, they're not going to escape anything, man. They're going to be right where they're supposed to be at for the judgment to come, all right? It says, verse 4, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. No, we're patiently waiting. We're watching and we're reading the signs, okay? The Bible is giving us the play-by-play. Okay, it's telling us what to look out for so that we can be prepared once this thing comes, all right? We hear rumors of wars, okay? We're hearing that, we're seeing that, okay? We know eventually they're going to shut it down to the point where, this truth is going to be impossible to find, okay? If you're not of that number, speaking of, the elect, you're not going to be able to find this truth. You're not going to be able to get this truth, okay? And a major way that this truth goes out is by the way of the internet, all right? So look for them to get ready to do something like that, all right? These attacks are only going to increase as we get closer to the end, okay? So like I said, they attacked the infrastructure, only part of the infrastructure. They really haven't hit the main core, which is this financial industry, okay? Once people wake up, once people wake up the next day to their bank accounts being empty, they're going to really have a fit, okay? That's when you're going to really see the chaos ensue, okay? That's when you're going to see people, panic buying, causing, runs on the stores to go empty, all right? Then they're going to have those people right there where they want them, where they're going to have to, acquiesce and comply to whatever demands that they set forth before they bring, back and replenish those stores that were hit because of people were panic buying, okay? Just remember the fiasco that happened back in 2020 when there was an outage and shortage of toilet paper and water and bread. Now imagine when things really go, to hell in a handbasket and food is, scarce to come by, okay? And the trucks ain't coming into cities, due to certain ailments and pestilence that, they're not allowing people to leave in to come out of these cities, okay? And the ones that's going to get hit hard is these major cities, all right? That's why you seen it said Atlanta, Chicago, Miami. These ain't no little small town, country, dirt road towns. No, these are cities. These are major cities. These are where they're going to be setting up their infrastructures at, okay? This is where that mark is going to be at its most, effective in these cities where a large, collection of people are at, okay? I believe they call them smart cities, all right? Where everything is within a 5-mile radius, all that you need, okay? Do you not remember when they was, putting curfews out when they weren't letting people leave out of their house? Because why? They was setting up the infrastructure, those towers, okay? Those 5G towers, all right? The infrastructure is being set up already. They're just waiting for the right time or the ideal time to bring about this, okay? So it says, what does it say? Verse 1, but of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And it's going to take a lot of people by surprise, man, because a lot of people going on about their day like it's nothing to it, not seeing the signs and the warnings that's right there before them, being brought out by the servants, okay, of the Most High. Or they just going on about their life like it's nothing that ever going to change, okay, until suddenly it happens, and then they're going to be caught off guard. It's going to be too late. Internet down, bank accounts drained, healthcare not available. What you gonna do? You sick, you can't get your medicine. You ain't got no food. How you gonna eat? Okay? The things that they already getting ready to put into play in motion is already ready. Okay? You seeing it. You just not aware because you don't have any idea what's going on. Okay? Because you're not in the truth. You see everything from what they tell you. All right? That's why it says in Job, what is it? Job 13. In verse 4, it says, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Because they're prominent head, people in charge, they can't tell you what's really going on. All they can do is just report to you what they see. Speaking of these, prominent news anchors, these, physicians, what have you, they can't really tell you the agenda of the, wicked elite. They can only tell you what's going on. This Bible is where you go to get the agenda of what the wicked elite is in store, what they have in store for the, for the mass, okay? This Bible gives you a broader perspective of actually what's going on and what's getting ready to go on, okay? All these news anchors and these forgers of forgers of lies, which are physicians of no value, all they can do is just report to you what they see, okay? And it's through the power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai that the servants break it down so you can get a better understanding and know what's going on and to prepare yourself. Make yourself ready for the battle. 2nd Ezra 16, okay? Because it's getting ready to go down. And whether you prepared or not, it's not going to change, all right? It's coming whether you are ready or not, all right? So these are the times that you have to get yourself together and get ready, okay? So you make yourself ready for the battle, all right? Now this is Psalms 55 and verse 21. And it reads, the words of his mouth are smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So, the government and those that are in control and in charge, they soften the blow. They tell you there's nothing to worry about. There's no, indication that these are cyber attacks. There's no need for cause of concern for, a balloon that's floating in restricted airspace. They're telling you these things because why? They don't want you, in an uproar before it's time to have you in an uproar, okay? They don't want you, spoiling the plan before the plan is actually, springed into action, all right? They want you in a state of, compliance. So once they bring this thing forth, then they get the reaction that they're looking for. Then they have the solution ready for you already on deck, all right? And we know that solution is going to look like. It's going to be that mark, all right? It's no sheer coincidence that you just had, the first Neuralink patient able to control, a mouse on a computer with just their thoughts, okay? This thing is on a fast track. They got to get ready to move, and this is their time, all right? So these little attacks on their infrastructure, their digital, infrastructure is just the beginning, okay? There's more to come, and those that are in the truth know, okay? It tells, Yahweh Shai gave us a warning in the sense that he told you that what? Those that are in the country, don't come back to these cities, okay? Because these cities are going to be, the breeding ground for these smart cities, okay? These major cities I'm talking about, these Chicagos, these New Yorks, these Los Angeles, these Miamis, okay? These major cities are going to be the breeding ground for these smart cities, okay? That's what all the commerce and the transactions are going to be going down at, all right? Now let's go and read that Luke 21 in verse 21. And it says, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. Okay, now this was a warning that he took, that he gave to the Israelites back then, but we can apply that to today. Okay, because when they start locking these cities down and they start bringing in these troops, okay, I mean that's your cue that they getting ready to bring something forth. Okay, and if you got the means and the way to get out, take heed and flee. Okay. And if you already in the country sites and you outside of these major cities, when all hell break loose, don't go into these cities looking for, answers and solutions and, visiting whoever it is that you may know, because it very much well can be your last time before they, do a roundup and gather individuals to throw into these concentration camps, or what they call endearment camps. Okay. So this is the time you have to take heed, okay? Because they getting ready to lock this. They getting ready to lock this place down again, okay? But this time when they lock it down, that's gonna be it, okay? That first time was a dry run just to see exactly how people are gonna react. But this time when they shut, shit down, it's gonna be for the real. It's gonna be for real, all right? So you seeing the signs and you seeing the works put into place, I mean, how many people rely on their cell phone? Damn near everyone rely on their cell phone. If you leave your cell phone at home, you'll break your neck or break your back to turn around and go back and get that cell phone. Okay, it has become part of your life. Okay, it has become a part of you. All right, you feel naked without that cell phone. Just imagine if they shut your service off. How are you going to operate? You've been so reliant on this cell phone for everything else, you're not going to know how to operate, all right? And that's where they want you at, in a state of confusion, all right? And we know that what? Man, we know that the way the world is, in particular America, we know that, there's ailments at an all-time high, okay? You got sicknesses rampant, okay? And when you can't get access to your medicine, how are you going to react and overcome that ailment, all right? You're going to gladly go down and take whatever it is so you can get your medicine back, okay? Whether it's, your medicine for, ailments such as, cancer, diabetes, or what have you, or whether it's a, medicine for ailments such as, mentally, okay? However it be, you're going to want to take whatever it is that you got to take so you can get that peace of mind, or so you believe that, all right? And that's where you're going to fall into the fowler's snare, his trap, all right? So they've already set the trap. They're just waiting for the prey to come walk into it, so it can get sprung into action, all right? So, this is it, all right? Be aware of what's going on so you don't get caught, all right? Not going to make this too long of a video. We're going to probably close out with that, and we're going to take it to 1 Peter 5:8. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." All right? And trust and believe, he's not only walking, he's moving at the speed of light through this digital infrastructure. Okay? And he's seeing exactly how many people, made an uproar and took, notice of this outage problem that happened. Speaking in particular of this cell phone outage that happened on Thursday, which was just a couple of days ago. How many people tried to make, phone calls and couldn't. He did. None of this is done by, sheer coincidence. This is all part of his cunning tactics, okay? He's a cunning hunter. He allowed these things to transpire so he can get data and read and see exactly who overreacted, how many calls went out, how many people on a smaller scale were, confused and not, ready to move on without their cell phone, okay? He's all about numbers. That's how he runs his system on numbers, okay? Tolls, polls, statistics, stats, okay? He's all about numbers. Esau Edom plays the number game, all right? That's why he's looking for as much confused individuals as he can, okay? Because he knows more in numbers, they're going to influence more people to be more confused. But it's through us, speaking of the brothers, that have that stable mind. Why? Because it tells us that in Isaiah the 33rd chapter, that what? Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times, okay? We know exactly what's going on, so we're not out here, running around like a chicken with his neck cut off, all right? Through this Bible, through the Holy Spirit, through this Holy Bible, we have and we get wisdom and knowledge, okay? That's what's going to keep us stable in these times that's coming. While other people are panicking and running around here looking for answers and solutions because they don't know exactly what's going on, okay? Because Yahweh cannot be found now. We're going to be stable in all this. Amongst the midst of all this confusion, we're going to have stability, all right? So that's why we're going to be, more valued than gold, okay? Because we're going to know exactly what's going on. Let's get that. Isaiah 13:12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And what man is this? This is speaking of an Israelite man that's in the truth, okay? He's going to be more valued than fine gold because he's going to know exactly what's going on. And he's going to be under the hedge of the Most High, okay? Under the protection of the Most High. And that's why women are going to be flocking towards him. 7 women should take hold of one man, one Israelite man that's in the truth, okay? 7 representing complete, okay? Whether it's one woman or whether it's more than one woman, okay? They're going to be flocking because they're going to want to be, protected. They're going to say, only let us be called by your name to take away our reproof, all right? So they're going to be flocking towards, the brothers with this truth, all right? So we're going to have stability, man. We're going to be, more precious than fine gold, okay? Even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. And that's not speaking of just a man that just knows that, this place is getting ready to collapse and they done stocked up on, canned goods and medical supplies and what have you. Because if you don't have the Most High in your corner on your side, all that is going to be useless, okay? You just really, stocking that up for a man of the Most High of the elect, okay? That's all you doing, all right? So, going back to 1 Peter 5:8, where it reads, be sober, be vigilant, okay? That's wisdom and knowledge, okay? You got to have it in order to be sober and be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, speaking of Esau Edom, so-called white man, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour through chaos, okay? Through panicking. That's how he's going to devour majority of his prey, all right? So we're going to close out with that. And I pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.